Hey y'all, we are Shay, Erin, Asha, and Tia, and we are Team Breastly. New mothers have a lot to focus on besides their newest child, including their careers, home and personal upkeep, families, and friends and personal life. Breastfeeding and pumping, which can take hours out of the day, introduce many new challenges for these mothers to overcome. Breast pumps were originally designed to mimic the devices used for quickly milking cows, which resulted in a rigid, clinical product with little or no regard to the comfort or style. The flange, a component that makes contact with the breast, is typically made of a rigid root plastic that requires constant support to remain in place. While other designs are available, these rigid plastic designs are the only style supplied by insurance companies and hospitals. After observing these obvious flaws of the available breast pumps, we were certain that there was a way to improve the design. We decided that lactating mothers need access to a convenient, discreet, and safe breast milk collection and storage method. To resolve some of these issues associated with the breast pumps, the Breastly pump includes the following design points: a malleable breast pump interface, or flange, that allows for a suction movement that more closely resembles infant suckling and hand expression. A double-layer design of the flange that includes a replaceable thin liner to insert into the malleable interface connected to the pump, which prevents contact between the milk and the pumping device. An easily adaptable tubing interface that allows for connection with many market-available pump power sources. And thin, flat milk collection tubing connected to these replaceable liners that connects the flange to a remote storage container. When compared to current breast pumps, the novelty of the Breastly pump lies in its flexible silicone flange and double-layer design, which allows for a more sanitary and comfortable pumping experience. It is made to be inserted into a wearer's bra during use, which does not require the individual to support the flange with their hands, allowing women to continue with their daily activities while pumping. The primary prototyping of the Breastly design was the creation of a series of 3D printed PLA molds, which were utilized to create the silicone flange. Over time, multiple iterations of the bottom and top molds were created to optimize the dimension and shape, as well as to account for the integration of the tubing into the final silicone flange design. In order to test the validity of the final design, we performed a leak test and a suction observation test, where the silicone flange was placed onto the lactating breast replica. For the suction observation test, the flange, with no liner, was placed onto the empty breast replica and connected to the Bella Baby pump. The movement of the flange was observed, indicating that a subtle grasping motion was present, showing that there was successful creation of a negative pressure environment between the flange and the breast, as well as just demonstrating a force that more closely resembled that of hand expression or infant suckling. To assess the milk collection and leakage capabilities of the design, a plastic bag cut to the size of the flange was placed inside the flange before the flange was placed into the breast replica, which was filled with either 15 or 25 milliliters of water to a and gorge. The flange was connected to the Bella Baby pump, which was allowed to run for 20 minutes. Following the testing period, the quantity of water inside the plastic liner of the flange and the water that had leaked from between the flange and the breast and onto the area below was recorded. When the breast was engorged with 15 milliliters of water, 5 milliliters was collected inside the plastic liner, with no observed leakage. When the breast was engorged with 25 milliliters of water, 8 milliliters was collected inside the flange, and 3 milliliters was observed to be leaked out. These tests indicate that while the flange successfully created a negative pressure environment between the breast and the flange, the force was not optimized to fully empty the breast of milk. The seal between the breast and the flange was also not perfect, indicating the need for further optimization of the dimensions and shape of the flange to better fit the breast and prevent milk leakage. The development and testing plans of Team Breastfeeding were drastically impacted by the transition to online learning. So given the opportunity to continue, we would optimize our mold design in order to create a thinner and shallower flange, which would better fit the breast when compared to our final semi-spherical design, hopefully reducing the leakage. We would also plan to further develop a replaceable and liner with connecting flat milk tubing, specifically by acquiring specially sized nitrile instead of the simple Ziploc bag we utilized for our testing. Once we've made these adjustments, we perform a series of rigorous leak and collection tests to ensure a consistent performance and adequate collection of milk when compared to market available breast pumps. The Breastfeeding team had initially budgeted $1,600 in expenses, but due to the switch to online learning, only utilized about $580 of these funds. The Breastfeeding team would like to thank everyone involved in our design process, including the teaching team, our academic and professional mentors, our service learning partners, and all the mothers who gave us advice and personal anecdotes.